Hi, my name is Claire Mikeson, and I'm a school improvement specialist with the Montana OPI. Today, I'm going to talk about the gap analysis, a crucial step in preparing to write your school's action plan, required in the Integrated Strategic Action Plan, or ISAP, for accreditation. This video is the third in a four-part series on the gap analysis and covers steps 6 through 7. To learn about the next steps, check out the next video in this series. To get a copy of the templates shown in these videos, make sure to contact a school improvement specialist at OPI. In the first two videos, I covered an overview of the gap analysis, gathering and analyzing student-related and other relevant data that may affect academic achievement, data-informed reflection, and a process for identifying your school's top 3 priorities for improvement. In this video, we'll talk about grading priorities by aligning them with current or potential initiatives and goals, and how you can put together specific action steps. In step 6, you'll think about all the various initiatives and goals your school is developing or continuing for the upcoming school year. Maybe mental health support is a current initiative in your building, for example. Take a pause to reflect on all of the current initiatives and goals within your school and list them out in this first column of your gap analysis form under step 6. Next, you'll identify which of your 3 priorities, determined in steps 4 and 5 of this process, each initiative or goal might align with. And then you'll determine the degree of alignment, from extremely aligned to not aligned at all. In this example, our mental health support initiative is very aligned with our top priority 2, as indicated in that last column. This process allows us to look at each goal individually to determine whether or not it's something that will facilitate the achievement of those top 3 priorities you've identified. While the OPI suggests aligning initiatives to your top 3 priorities, it might also be pertinent to ask yourself additional questions, such as whether these priorities align with your overall mission and vision of your school, and whether they will help to improve students' school experience. In this completed table, you'll see several examples of current initiatives and goals within this example district. Perhaps this is a school that has already completed a year within the Comprehensive Support and Improvement Program and has SMART goals surrounding math, ELA, attendance, and social emotional learning. So it makes sense that those are initiatives they've included in this slide. This school also included a grant called Project Aware with a specific goal. After these goals, you can see how they completed the rest of the table, aligning each initiative to their top 3 priorities, and then in that right-hand column, evaluating the degree of alignment. Now that you've identified and thought about the initiatives already going on in your school, you have a better idea of what you can continue to focus on in alignment with your priorities. For step 7, we'll return the focus back to our top 3 priorities to create action steps focused on achieving success in those areas. For this step, you'll list your 3 priorities and then spend some time thinking and brainstorming about the supports and resources you might need for each priority goal to succeed, and those supports and resources that you already have in place. Consider where to focus Tier 1 interventions for universal instruction and interventions for the greatest impact. It can also be helpful to recognize groups that have had success in your school, community, or in other contexts that you have witnessed. What have they done that has been successful? Seek to implement these steps in your own action plans. You'll also want to identify a person responsible for monitoring the initiatives that go along with each priority. Think of this person as your point of contact to help your school share responsibility and ownership. If there's no one person or position in charge of an initiative, it's much easier for it to fall to the wayside. Finally, consider the time it will take to realistically implement your action steps and write it in the timeline column. Let's look at a completed row and dive a little deeper. Here is an example of a priority with accompanying action steps focused on community and family engagement. The action steps to be implemented include scheduling more community events, establishing communication protocols, updating the website and school calendar, sharing newsletters, and establishing communication through technology that's convenient for your community and families. In this case, a committee has been formed consisting of the principal, a superintendent, students, and the school cook to oversee the implementation of this specific plan. 2 steps have been outlined in the timeline, including a planned frequency of community engagement events and a deadline for the school calendar. If your current initiatives already strongly align with your priorities, try to dive deeper and ask yourself, is this working? And critically examine the practices in place for those initiatives. Here are some additional areas you might consider. For Tier 1 efforts, think about the skill gaps that you need to target for students and any instructional materials you might need to order for next year. Also think about where to focus resources and staff, such as paras and interventionists, for specific grade levels and populations. For screening and progress monitoring tools, check out the National Center on Intensive Intervention. This site provides intervention programs for students who have been identified as needing additional support in academics or behavior. Also take student group sizes into account and consider whether additional time for intervention might be necessary for your specific student population. Finally, think about how your action steps might affect scheduling for the next year. Thanks for watching the third in our 4-part video series on the gap analysis. For the final steps, selecting interventions, strategies, and enrichment, and putting it all together, check out our next video. If you want to learn more about the gap analysis, or if you have questions, contact your region's school improvement specialist, or check out the school improvement webpage on the OPI website. Thanks for watching.